And welcome everybody to Co-op Guild. This is Steve here
That
again.
close.
Hi,
That
everybody.
close to cold open. That close.
Cold open without Derrick.
That's right. I'm super pumped. We have special guests. I'm
Do you have special
excited.
guests? So we've got Derrick from Canje Studios,
Hello.
and the man of the hour. We got Dom.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey Dom.
Really good.
So we are here to talk about something that we've really enjoyed over the past few years. That is the campaign map that Dom has created for Marvel United.
Mhm.
And so we're here to kind of unveil and talk about how Season 3 incorporates with that map and go through the rules and any questions you guys have. So it should be a fun night.
Yep.
We see lots of people here. So hey Matt, welcome Matt. Hey Brian, Greg's
Tim.
here.
Hi, Tim.
Tim's here, yep.
I see Steve, Kate. We got a lot of people. So
We got a lot of Greg's here.
Don't be
Awesome.
greedy.
So for people that may not know,
Mm-hmm.
Marvel United is a game near and dear to our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, Dom is the brain behind the big campaign that we played with Derrick on Canje Studios and our channel. It was this big crossover. I don't know how many games of this we've played.
It was almost 100 videos.
Wow.
It's a lot.
It was a ton
It
of
took a
videos.
year. It took a year.
Yeah.
Yes. And so in all of Dom's glory, and you can speak to this, Dom, jump in whatever you want, but with the new release of Season 3, you have revamped it, created new things, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I stole your thunder,
No.
but I wanted to kind of set the stage of what we're doing tonight, because we're not playing a game, but we're talking.
Actually, it might be a good tie-in into that to talk about like what led to the creation of this map, Dom. Like, I'm not sure if everyone's heard the story.
Yes, let's interview you.
Okay, wow, sudden interview. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, no, I mean the Marvel United is one of my favorite games from the first one, and I'm a big comic book nerd. I'm a big board game nerd. There's a big board game collection behind me, and it was just a perfect match of the two. And the third thing I love in life is game design. So when Marvel United came out, it felt like such a great sandbox to play with of all these heroes and all these characters and villains that I love. So I wanted to put my hands into it and have fun with it. And I did feel like it needed this kind of motivation to play more and to get through all the content. So I just made it for myself and shared it on Board Game Geek, and people liked it, so I kept making it. I guess. So that's the simple story. Yeah.
That's awesome. Sweet.
Yeah. Yep. Super cool. But like you mentioned, it's a very community driven community. How do I want to say this?
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know. What are we
You're saying
Wait.
words.
I'm wearing the wrong shirt. What was I saying?
I don't know.
The game has a great supportive
There
community
you go.
of
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah,
individually developed things that are shared. So like Dom, you did a whole bunch. Derrick, you've done a whole lot for the game. So I think
sure.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just a statement I wanted to say.
It's
Now,
beautiful.
please.
Yeah.
You talk, Steve.
No, I guess while we're talking about your ideas and the creation of it, let's talk about the order of things, right? There's some who've created campaigns and they've put things together. This massive, we'll just stick with before we dive into the new one. This massive Season 1, Season 2, multi-page map that you've kind of put out. How did you go about structuring the order and where things were and how to unlock? What was your process behind that?
Well, if you want to put my screen up, we can actually look at it and talk about it.
Sure.
Ha
He's a madman.
I'm
So
prepared.
Steve, the way he pushed the button, just for everyone's reference, was very proud. He's like, bam.
Everyone is so professional. I love it. So actually we can look at Season 1 first. Season 1 was so simple to make because it was not a whole lot of content, right? Like it was a lot, but it was not as much as we have now. And it just started with just logical things, I guess. Like for people who don't know, like it's a map where you start somewhere and you start unlocking heroes and gradually go and fight villains with your heroes, and gradually you get keys and like things to unlock with your keys. But it felt like all natural to start telling a bit of a story with these locks and unlocks, like putting all the like the original two Avengers and then the big group of Avengers and who are they fighting first, and kind of telling a bit of a story with that. But it was not that complicated for the first one, but when we got to the second map, it was more of a puzzle to figure out. And I don't know if you felt the story through these, like through the Avenger side and the X-Men side, but I really tried to have more of that those connections be like in little bubbles of the map, and have even more variety of types of maps and types of bubbles, I guess. I don't know. Did you feel that when you guys were playing?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I definitely did, especially with the Infinity Gems. It made sense where they were, right?
Yeah.
The different characters that had the Infinity Gems made sense, and then having to get all of them to face Thanos was just kind of, that's the end game. If, not to get sued by Disney, but that was the end game of the whole thing, is to gather all the gems and then face Thanos to end it, right?
Yeah.
But who had those gems was just well placed as well.
Yeah, to me, it was one of the reasons to make the map too, is to give you an ultimate goal, right? Because if you have a goal, then you're motivated to do a lot of things to get there, to get resources, fight other villains to get there. And that's something just from game design that I apply to video games in my day job, I guess. So I immediately did that for the first map, which had Thanos just at the end. Like I think it required like a bunch of keys to open, if I remember correctly. You just had to go through the whole map to get there. But in the second map, you had to really go to different corners and kind of search for the stones. And not to spoil anything, but in the third map, there's another version of that you'll have to search for some stuff to get to the final boss, which you can probably guess who the final boss would be in season 3.
Cloak and Dagger, because I can't seem to kill them. I can't seem to kill them.
Well, I think we have to make. Oh, never mind. Yes. I was gonna say something. It's a little bit spoiler, so
Yeah, wait for us to kill it.
I know.
No, but one thing that you guys touched on that I also really, really liked about the fact that there's this whole campaign that you built and this map was the fact that even after season 2, there was still so much content, and it's like, okay, what do I play? How do I want to make sure that I touch every little aspect of this game? But following that story that you built was a really nice way to get exposure to everything that you had. So that was awesome.
And it's the same for season 3, where there's now equipment and team decks and like
pets.
so much new things that I'm like, I don't know. Like I played just this weekend. I was like, oh, I guess I'll take this one, and I don't know, these just randomize my game. And I was missing my own map, like to motivate myself. So I'm really happy that the new map will have all of this stuff to unlock as well, and put in your battles. Yeah.
Cool. You want to jump into the new map now, then?
That sounds like a segue.
Sure. Why not?
Segue.
So just a bit of context. When they announced season 3, I was both very happy and also went a little mad thinking of how much work it was going to be.
Because you know what the people want.
Yeah, and this is the first thing I shared about my process, which was trying to fit in every single thing that was announced into the map and trying to figure out like how the heck are we going to put all of this stuff on the map. And I think this plan I made like when the campaign was going, and then I got back to it a couple months ago where I was like, oh, okay, now I need to actually make it happen and finish it. And this made no sense. This was not the most helpful, but it does end up looking something like that in the final version of what I like to call the Marvel United Megaverse, because I really like the idea of the multiverse being mixed into it, and the size of the map makes me want to call it mega something or giant something. And so now we have the season 3 map, which is this map that goes around the previous X-Men and Avengers map. And it's silly big. It's very big. So actually, I'm going to show it right now. There's actually 2 versions of it. One is a single giant map, and one is 2 separate posters. Because I also know that some people have already printed out like a super nice laminated version of the X-Men Avengers map. We'll talk about some additions to that map later. But yeah, so that's the new map. It evokes the idea of there's like an outside world, like there's a multiverse, there's other places to go to. So that's the core of it, going to different weird versions of the universe.
Very cool. Now I want a giant wall poster of this. We need to do that.
We need to find a giant plotter first.
Vistaprint, whatever.
Yeah. Some people have been posting pictures of that on the different groups that we have, and it looks awesome when you start marking it physically on the map. But you guys have also your own digital version of that, right? Like you have your giant map that you cross off, so it also works. So yeah, the main idea, if we want to jump right into it, let's jump into this one. So like I said, you'll start just like the previous campaign. You'll start by choosing either the X-Men side or the Avengers side, and this time you'll also have the addition of this multiverse star. I call them, what did I call them? The Star Gates, I think, in the rules.
Yeah, Stargates. Yeah,
and you'll start with this first star unlocked, which will lead you to most of the content from the multiverse core box. So you'll get Captain Carter and Mighty Thor and all those characters. And it will lead you to on a brand new adventure. I feel like I'm selling something.
You are. You're going to say, everybody play this game.
You got to wave your hands about as you talk.
And it's only $0. So you start moving along, but you'll notice that the paths, the little white roads, lead to nowhere. Like you can't leave this page or this zone of the map. So the way the new addition to the map is that you'll want to collect these yellow star resources. As soon as you collect one of those, you can go to any other page that has a star and kind of cross it off or circle it, whatever, and start from there too. And there's, I think, 16 of these zones that you can go to, start from, and start fighting villains, collecting heroes, and all that stuff.
And so thematically, these are the multiverses, right?
Yeah, you can extrapolate it however you want, but it's some kind of like new universe or a new place that you haven't been to yet.
Yeah, we're not going to answer Greg's question.
No, we have to answer Greg's question.
We're going to move past Greg's question. It's not necessary.
I'm just going to pan over to where are they?
Gosh.
There's more than you see if you're anyone, I think.
There's here. Just over here.
There you go.
So not unlocking that. Okay.
Yeah. I think I also made. Let me show you a thing right away. Where did I put it? It was. It's at the top here. I made something especially for you, Derrick. 1 second. I just need to find it. This thing is too big. Here. You have a gate here that says "Win the battle with the help of a pet." You have to do it, you can't avoid it.
We're doing it, Derrick.
It's happening.
You'll have to.
So that's something that Kim and Steve will be doing. Solid.
Yeah, so you can see like it's huge, and there's a lot of different themes. The themes are, I try to make it a little bit story based if I can. Sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, but I do it as much as I can. And this is a good example of a small, like, fun little feature. Like I put the collector there. I'm mad that the collector is not in the game, so I made a little corner for the collector to sell you stuff for keys.
Yeah, as a small spoiler, he's not in the game yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm building a homebrew collector.
Oh, that's awesome. And by the way, that one of the reasons why I went with this multiverse thing is that I feel like it's very flexible for other people to add their own stuff to it. Like even I talked to the TMNT people, and like we can do a side of the map that or a portion of the map for the TMNT stuff, or we can
Oh, cool.
easily add the DC United stuff through the same system. So that's the idea.
We do have a question from Steve. He says, anything incorporating team decks, accessories, or the campaign decks?
So not campaign decks, because I feel like campaign decks are my competitors. And also it was kind of too big to put on a map. Like I can't just have a node that's like do the whole campaign. Like it's a little much. So I didn't do anything. But the team decks are fully integrated in the map. So whenever you unlock, you find them on the map, you can start using them from now on, using the normal rules of you have to remove your double wilds to use them. And same for equipment. It's all over the map, usually in some kind of thematic way, sometimes not as much. And even the equipment for the old characters are distributed across the new map, just so to make it kind of exciting to find those. And I didn't want to change the old map too much, so that's why I did that.
Yeah.
But Dom,
Yeah.
while you have stars to open stargates, what do those portal circles mean?
Oh yeah, very good question, Derrick. So one little twist on the multiverse is that the characters that you find in the star maps, the maps that have the little blue stars, cannot cross over to the middle map. So they cannot go into the X-Men Avengers map yet. And the other way around is also true. Like you cannot send Captain America right away to the multiverse. The way you eventually get to have characters crossover is with these portals. Whenever you reach an orange portal, you get to choose one of your characters to mark it as a crossover character, like a character that can be used in both sides. So that adds a lot of challenge because you'll have to be careful not to run out of heroes on either side. But at some point, you'll be able to bolster each side with those little portals.
I didn't think about that.
Are
Yeah.
they open specifically for
They can die,
that?
yes.
Yeah. So if we look at it as each Stargate is a portal to a specific world in the multiverse, if I attach a portal to a hero, can that hero travel the multiverse, or are they stuck between that one Stargate and the main map?
I think I went as simple as I could, and it's a resource you can spend on anyone. And
Okay,
then
so
they
you can
grow
travel the
anywhere.
multiverse.
Yeah.
You can travel the multiverse. Okay.
I made a little character tracker. I bet you'll have your own, but I made a little spreadsheet, and it just has like where did you find it. In one column is AVX, and one column is the star maps, and then there's the portal column, and you can just check that off, and then you can use it anywhere.
Okay. All right.
Just to keep it. It's already a bit too complicated, so
No, it's
it
perfect. But I know that that'll definitely be a question where someone's like, okay, are they stuck to this Stargate, or can they move around any Stargate? So it sounds like they can move through any, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a bit of a risk at first. You might lose because you only have 4 heroes on this side at first if you start from this map, right? So there's a bit of a risk if you lose, then you have no one. So that's why I ended up putting these portals and a couple of stargates in very specific places on the old map, so that you have a way to come back to the multiverse if you really need to. It's a bit of a patch. I'm not super happy about that because some people have printed out the map, like I said before. But I think it's going to be a fun new thing to add to the old map, especially for people like you who are mad enough to go through it again.
Who's trying to say?
Yeah, but I only put them in like against after. Actually, I only put them wherever there was a hole already on the map, so people can probably just mark it on their old map if they have it printed out, or put a sticker there. I don't know, something.
Yeah, and what's pretty cool is that you've kind of like you said, and for people not to get locked out, you put one against the first like Ultron. So beat Ultron, you can send somebody to help out in
Exactly.
multiverse, which is good.
There's two that are pretty easy to access
Yeah.
from the start. Yeah.
Mhm.
But the stars are pretty hard to get. I think I only attached them to big bosses. So that's
Yeah.
more a situation where, because it could happen. I tried as much as I could to make it not happen, but you could run into a situation where you run out of resources to progress on a multiverse map.
Mhm.
But that shouldn't happen too much because some maps have like one entryway but two star gates to unlock. So like in here we have like one star here and one star there. So technically you can go into two universes from that one. And there's a couple that do that. So it should spread pretty well. One thing I put in the rules though is that you should probably definitely unlock the Civil War universe as soon as possible because there's a lot of stuff in there.
All the heroes that come along with that expansion. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's the opposite would be probably the Dark Avengers that have early on not a lot to unlock, but there's a lot to fight because it's a big like blocker. It's a big dark moment in the comics. So I wanted it to feel like a rough time for you. So ideally you don't go there right away, but you know, if people go there first, it's not my problem.
Okay. Can you go back to the Civil War section real quick? Because there's a new element on that map with the arrows. Can you talk about that a little bit?
The arrows? So there's a couple situations where I want the player to have a choice, and I don't want the player to kind of circumvent obstacles too much. So I put the arrows where if you cannot go against the direction of an arrow, but once you pass an arrow in the right direction, then you can cross it off and you can, go back and forth on it as much as you want. And that let me do something like this, which is from the start you get to pick which side you want because you only have one question mark resource, and then you go either here and then you can keep going on this side, but you can't go back on this. But by having the arrows here, that means you get to go fight the Dark Avengers, but you don't get to like go back through the whole other side of the map immediately.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, but if you defeat the Dark Avengers, you do get the other question mark that you need to unlock the other side.
Okay.
And go through this side, So there's only a couple of cases like that are edge cases, but I think it will make sure that there's no abuse of the rules,
That's clever. I like it. We did have a question from Tim. He says, how does the campaign handle missing content?
That's the big question, and that's not a fun question, but it makes sense. I understand that a lot of people don't have all the content, but I tried to make it as much as possible grouped in themes more than grouped by boxes, especially how the stretch goals often add on to a bunch of other boxes themes. So it's a bit difficult for me to cater to all the situations possible, all the permutations of I have this expansion or I have this core box or whatever. But one thing that I did, as I said here, is all the season 3 stuff is on this new map, this new side of the map here, with stretch goal stuff and other characters from other expansions. But I feel like that's the best case scenario I could do is if you skip over the stuff you don't have, you can still work through this whole map. You don't have to go through like literally all of the other stuff. It's not gonna be perfect if you want to just skip over the stuff you don't have, and I think it will balance itself out a bit because there's villains that will block the way that you'll jump over, probably to get heroes you don't have. Also, I hope it will be a good balance. But there's one more thing that I'm working on right now. I don't have it fully done yet, but where did I put it? Where did I put it? I'm preparing an asset pack for people to make their own map, and hopefully that will help because maybe there's a couple other zealous designers that will be willing to spend time to make another map and try to make content for just season 2 or just the core season 3 and share it with people like I did, and hopefully it will help people get a bit more of what they need. I hope, because I cannot do all of it.
Right. No, that's awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah. I think I have an image here. 1 second.
This is
Discuss
one.
amongst yourselves.
Well,
We
Anto,
did have a
Anto
question
has
you can
a.
probably answer off the top of your head here. And
Yeah.
Anto says, did you add latest characters to the map? Agatha Harkness and Scarlet Witch or Scarlet Witch.
Scarly Witch, thank you very much.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Yes, I did, and all the promos should be in there. But I always make sure that they're not a blocker on the main path of a zone. So, like here in the Midnight Suns map, they are in a path here. They block each other, but they're not like a huge blocker for the whole experience.
Gotcha.
Smart.
And I did that for most of them, including the hybrid decks. Also, they're all here. It's I think it's still, you can still like check it as, if you don't have it, you can just check it as like, oh, I've achieved getting all of them, but it shouldn't block you at least. Yeah.
While you got the map pulled up, there's one section I want to talk about specifically, and it's the one below this, the maze. What did you do here?
You need some icons.
So this is Deadpool's Fun Maze Fun Time.
Fun Maze Fun Time. I love it.
I wanted to pay homage to the great superhero that is Deadpool, and give you a fun little time to play with in a lovely maze. There's a couple things there. There's not a lot to unlock around Deadpool. Like, there's no Deadpool expansion, but it was still one new Deadpool. And I had some leftover stuff, like the generic equipment that I didn't know where to place, and the Deadpool team up. And I was like, oh, I need to do a little something around it. And I thought, why not kind of mess with you guys a bit and make this silly thing? But also, I heard your feedback about the Deadpool challenge in the first map, which was not super fun. So one thing you can unlock in the maze is you can get 5 points for the Deadpool challenge. Because if you remember, I'll bring it here. The Deadpool challenge is you need to play against Deadpool multiple times until you've accumulated enough points to unlock the stuff on the left. And that's not great. And I I apologize for it, but it's now it's going to help you. If you get a couple of those bonuses, you can make that much easier.
Okay.
Smart. I like it.
Yeah.
And it's just me being silly. Like, I try just having fun making it myself, but also just have little surprises and weird things in the map. Is fun to keep it fresh, you know.
Yeah. Another cool thing I noticed that you've added to this map is locations.
Yeah, so I had a debate actually, and I wonder what you guys think about it. I didn't want to make locations unlockables. I didn't want you to go through the map and collect locations because, one, it's a lot. Like, it adds another big thing to collect. But two, I feel like it's part of the game to kind of choose locations, and it can be a bit too much for setup if I asked you to go for specific locations. But I did put it in some important locations, like here, where I do want you to fight Annihilus in. I think you have to actually fight it in one of these two. And it's another way to create more variety. Like, the Scrawls I think are in 2 locations in the whole map. And this one is a bit different because you have to put the Nova Corps headquarters as one of the locations. But it also creates a bit of a story, I guess, in some places. Like, you feel like you're in one of those locations because you have to put it. But I didn't want it to be like a whole system and a whole collection and all that.
Sure.
How do you feel about that? Like, would you have liked to have also like a collection of locations to unlock and to put in a pool? It's, I don't know.
I think the way you've done it, simple is many times better.
Yeah.
So the fact that you said, no, thematically it makes sense to have these particular ones in these instances, awesome. Granted, I'm not the one that does game setup or teardown, but I think Steve would also appreciate it. It's just, we that level of flexibility to choose the locations. I know on the last campaign, if we failed, it's like, ooh, okay, now maybe a way to help us is we pick this other setup to work around that and try to, beat it on the next go around.
It's definitely a way for me to not have to play test everything also, because the secret behind all of this that I shouldn't say out loud is I didn't play test all of this.
Heaven
I
forbid.
I don't have that much free time on my
You didn't want
hands,
100 plus games of your own.
yeah. There's even a couple things, like sometimes I attach a challenge to a villain and I'm like, this will probably work, I don't know. But I didn't want to go too far and have to balance out like different locations. If they work with a villain, is it too strong, is it too difficult? So yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's the same problem.
Yeah, for me, I think it's fine. Steve and I initially, when we started the map, we were doing expansion unlocks. So when we got to a specific expansion, that's when the
Nice.
locations become available. But even that became too cumbersome. So we just went with the locations
Whatever
are
you have.
open.
Yeah.
And so I like the themed locations as a challenge. That's a good middle ground.
Yeah,
for that.
especially in some cases, I try to put a not always, but often it's one of those locations that have a negative side
Mhm.
to make a villain a bit harder.
Yeah.
But you can do that for yourself too if you want to put some of those difficult locations with your villains. But it just forces you to do it once in a while.
What? I don't do that.
No, I was just saying Steve's the game. So that happened naturally.
What are we talking about? It's fine.
Uh-huh.
It's fine.
And yeah, maybe something I didn't mention, but I guess if you don't mind the spoiler, one of the main goals of the map is to fight Galactus. But there's a unique kind of gate. The gray diamonds are stuff that blocks you. You need to go find that resource. So now this is the big goal for this map, is to find all of these eyes and go fight Galactus at the very end.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
That's right.
One thing I want to do with you guys' map, maybe we should put Derrick's Silver Surfer challenge in there, just to add
that'd
a
be
little
cool.
bit of spice to it. You know?
Sure.
That'd be cool. I do plan on once you release the pack that you were talking about, the kit for people to make their own. I do plan on having that as kind of a branch for people who want to try the homebrew stuff.
Awesome.
Because I know Dave, who's done a lot of work with the Age of Apocalypse work, and he's done his Horseman on that side. He's homebrewed that. We've got Meeple Monkey, who is in the chat right now. Hey, Dan. He's done some homebrew work with Cameron Hodge and some other ones that are there. We've got a lot of people in the community, and they would love to kind of say, "Hey,
Absolutely.
I've made my square. If you want to try it out." So that's very nice of you to just kind of open it up. Here's a way for you to create your own. I really like that.
Yeah.
Canje Studios universe. We'll fight it, right?
Every time you have to roll a die.
Yeah. There was a question from Kate. So DC Marvel crossover in the future? Question mark. This map could get huge. So.
Well, it already is huge, but I mean huger.
I think for future expansions, we'll definitely go with this kind of stuff where there's a separate map, there's a separate poster, but they link together through the stars or the portals or some kind of thing. I don't think I can keep adding to the outside of the world.
Sure.
That would go wild. But it's one of the reasons why the whole map is split into like normal sheet of paper size, so that you can keep adding to it kind of in a modular way. But yeah, I'm excited for DC United. I think for every expansion so far, every season, I've tried to add just a little bit of mechanics or something new to the map. DC, I don't know yet what I could do. I think the only new thing in there is the companions. I don't know what they're called, the helper characters, like Lois Lane and all that. Which I guess you'll just unlock the same way, I guess, as other stuff. But yeah, if anyone has any ideas for what else to add to the map, I don't want to complicate it more. I think I've done too much already. But yeah, I'm open for new ideas too.
Support characters, I think.
Support characters. Yes.
Kristen mentioned.
So, speaking of support, a little bit of a tangent, but if you do like the work that Dom does, I have a link in the video description of this video to his website and his Ko-Fi page. So if you want to donate to him to show your support that way, there's a way to do so.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really appreciate everyone that's donated through that, and to the GoFundMe that I did for DC. Like it's I'm absolutely blown away by the support there.
Absolutely, yeah. This was a major undertaking, and it's professionally done, and just the whole package is excellent. So we loved it.
Very much appreciated. I mean, the fans love it. I see you in the Discord, in the Marvel United Discord, and you just see the outpouring of the community that just kind of really appreciates the hard work you've done and recognizes that it's a lot of hard work, and that you put some love into it. I mean, it's definitely, it's nothing to sneeze at. It's pretty incredible.
For sure.
Yeah,
And since you list it for the whole price of free, it's definitely a good way to help support you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought about doing a Patreon and like the kind of road that a lot of people do, but I want it to be democratic and so everyone can have access to it, because I don't know, the game is already expensive enough.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see any other questions popping up here or any. I don't know if Derrick had anything else.
Just kind of curious as to what's kind of next for you in terms of I see Galactus in your background there. Has he been defeated by Dom already?
No, not yet, because I've been busy making this instead. No, I only played like maybe like 4 times so far. The new content. Also, it arrived like I think 2 weeks ago. And what's next is, I guess I'm gonna start playing my own map, which is part of the reason why I'm doing it. I just got my partner to play with me also, and we're I think slowly getting into maybe playing it a bit like you guys, like regularly as a fun, almost like watching a TV show, getting the next episode of Marvel United. So yeah, I'm gonna play through it. I kind of want to get into the TMNT stuff that you guys were gracious enough to send me as well. Didn't get a chance to play it yet, but I'm excited to try it out as well.
Fun.
Yeah. I've got season 2 here waiting to play with Kim and Steve,
Nice.
but yet
Kim is be home for that to happen.
I can't help that currently I'm spending half my time traveling for work.
Yeah, so but definitely this is a lot of great work. When does your creation of the Megaverse go live?
Tonight, I'm working on polishing up the BGG posts, so it'll be on Board Game Geek forums, and it should be available. Just with a slight word of warning that it's a first version. The rules will probably have a few problems. Probably some issues in the map, like the previous version also had like a couple things missing. So maybe don't print it out professionally yet, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, it should be available a bit later tonight. Just want to finish polishing it up. It's a Google Drive folder that has all of these versions. There's also if I can show this, I made a color printer friendly version and a black and white printer friendly version.
Oh, nice.
The same thing for the dual map, the one that has 2 maps. And it should be divisible. I'm sorry, I'm French. I don't know how to say that. You should be able to divide it into sheets of paper to print it on a normal printer as well. So yeah, it should be available pretty soon. And the rule book is starting to be a bit huge, but most of it is situational. Like if you encounter this, look it up in the rules. You don't have to read the whole rule book right away. But yeah, should be available a bit later tonight.
Awesome.
That's
cool.
amazing.
That's awesome.
When are you guys starting on this?
We were just talking about that recently, so Derrick gonna
it all depends on when we want to start. So it's the 3 of us that are part of this thing, Kim, Steve, and I playing. So we got to make sure that we set this off right. I am ready to go. I have unpainted minis and I'm ready to go. So it's all dependent on my teammates. So once they're ready to begin, we hit the ground running. We start the campaign.
Yeah. Well, I think plan was for tomorrow, unless you're not ready tomorrow.
Well, no, because here's the thing.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Here's,
We see the thing's this.
here's the thing, guys. I am out of town next week, so we were saying like, Marvel Mondays is kind of what our thought process was. So Monday nights would be our Marvel United play for the campaign, and then every week we would, each play that on whatever your Marvel day is. But if you start tomorrow, then we'll have a dead week because I'm not here next week. So we'll have to talk about that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. But the thing is I think we've all been highly anticipating getting this into our hands. And Steve and I have been talking all day about
Yes.
About our campaign status page in terms of how we're going to lay everything out visually so that everyone can just kind of sit back and enjoy the watch as we go through. So if you're out of town next week, then it would probably be the week after. Are you back then?
Well, if you did Tuesday next week,
we could come in Monday.
We could come in Monday, the following Monday.
Right.
So
then we start Tuesday next week.
Yep. Unless we want to do we can stream. I'm here this week. If you want to start tomorrow, Derrick, we can do first day is an off day, and then but no, then I'm dead. We're dead next week. Never mind.
Plus,
same problem.
Plus, notice there's something in front of you that I need your help with. So.
Oh, we have other games.
Yes, we have other games. Sorry.
See, the map comes out and every other game goes away.
Focus.
Marvel United comes out. Yeah, we'll start next. I'll start next week Tuesday.
Yep.
That will be the first game. I've already created the thumbnail, so we're good to go. We're just trying to decide on when it's going to start. So next week Tuesday, as the lunchtime stream, we'll begin the campaign, and then you all will take it Monday, and then I'll play it Tuesday, and we'll keep doing it in that order.
Forever.
I cannot believe that you guys are starting over the middle, the whole. AVS.
Oh yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah. This game is incredible. We love it so much, and I think that you've added more to it, which makes it even more exciting to get into. I'm definitely excited to. I didn't get to fully view the map before we dove in, but I'm curious. The starting equipment for the initial heroes in Avengers X-Men, is that just innate available to them, or is that something that has to be found and unlocked?
I think it has to be found and unlocked unless no, I think they all do because they're not part of their cards. So there's some heroes that you have to play with equipment. Those are attached to them.
Okay.
I believe these are you have to at least get for example, this Ironheart here. You have to go through here to find. Actually, that's not it. That's the Iron Man stuff. Where's her stuff? I don't know. You'll have to find it yourself. It's a mystery.
Yeah. No, which is cool though. So yeah, I'm very excited to dive into this very, very much. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm excited to watch you guys play for sure.
It'll be a fun year for sure. So we always love this game. So.
Well, it took you 1 year to get through the middle, so now it's at least over 1 year this time.
Great, great. That to me sounds like lunchtime streaming for everyone.
That's right.
Right. Maybe we'll have to double up some weeks.
We'll see. Yeah.
Well, when we do Game of Paloozas, we usually play multiple times.
Yeah.
So we'll get through it. Don't worry, it'll be fun. We're gonna play all the content. It's gonna be great.
Excellent. Well, I can't thank you enough, Dom, for putting this together and coming on the stream with us, chatting with us. It's been great having this chat and having your face associated with the campaign you did. So let people jump on; they can see the man behind the magic. So
that's right.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's super fun. I'm so glad to just chat and hang out.
Yeah. Thanks, and thank you for all your hard work. Really, this is incredible. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You guys are motivating me to keep going too. So.
That's right. Well, I saw a chat already. Someone commented season 4 question mark.
You're right.
Just let the man breathe. So, but no, I'm super excited. Thank you, Dom. Thanks to the community and everyone that go support Dom. Again, it's a lot of work, and he's offering this to the community for us to build upon. Right. So it's amazing. But what else do we got going on?
Well, the reminder of that is
Yeah.
to support him, look in the video description for his website and then the Ko-Fi link if you want to support it that way. So.
Yep.
Okay.
What else is happening?
Oh, for us?
Trying to segue into our closure.
Sure. Tomorrow night we're streaming Sea Beasts, which is a upcoming game on Kickstarter.
Tomorrow
So-
night?
Tomorrow night, yeah. Oh, sorry,
Oh,
Wednesday
Wednesday.
night.
Oh, I was
Wednesday
like,
stuff. Wednesday
Wednesday.
I'm glad you said something. People come back here tomorrow like, where are they? So,
Those liars.
so that's coming up, and then I actually think I think I'm done with Scout selling popcorn to my son, so we can do a co-op chat Saturday morning. So
Cool. Very
Before
cool.
you take me to the airport.
yes, before I take the airport. Bye. Okay.
See ya. So yeah, so that's what's happening over here. Derek, what do you got going on?
Tomorrow, we are beginning the month of horror as we play some more Dawn of Madness. So that ought to be fun. Then Thursday is Aeon's End. Yes, that horrible monster we're gonna fight us to play that. And then Sunday is Back to Arkham Horror LCG with Cynthia and Kate as we go through more of the Dream Eater scenario. So it's gonna be a fun week. And then next Tuesday will be the beginning of the Megaverse campaign. Awesome. So it's gonna be great.
Actually, one thing we didn't mention that is, I think I should mention with Dom's here. At Gen Con, I picked up the game. I haven't covered it on the channel yet because I don't think it streams well, even though it's a really, really fun thing to play. Yeah. But it's called Bomb Busters.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had a lot of fun with this game. It's a deduction game, co-op, of course. Not possible to play solo. But I mentioned this because Dom illustrated that game. So, and thanks for mentioning that and putting it on my radar. So I wanted to kind of purchase it just because you illustrated it, and we've been really enjoying that game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a great game, and I can say that because I only illustrated it. I didn't it's an amazing co-op puzzly deduction game, and it's honestly super fun. I cannot wait to get my own copy to play it myself.
It's
There's
really
no play with Steve. He's just gonna get the numbers wrong.
Oh, I could not read numbers for me. Luckily, no, this is this number. No, it's not.
No, it's a fun game. The art looks fantastic. It really does, and the game is a lot of fun. It's not streamable because you get to watch everybody be quiet for about an hour as they play the game.
Yeah, it's not a good streaming game, honestly.
Because there's no talking on it, but it's still a fun game.
Fun to play, not fun to watch. So Okay.
Fair.
All right.
Cool.
That's all we got for tonight. Like again, Dom, for joining us, and Derrick, it was a pleasure having you on this. We had to have you on this chat, and Kim too. We had to have everyone involved with this one.
Yeah.
It's Marvel time, baby. I'm super excited. I can't wait to get back. And again, thanks to Dom, thanks to the community, thank you, Derrick. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever, so this is super nice.
I know. I miss you, Kim. Man, we got this Game of Palooza's got to go down.
That's right. And also thanks to the Patreon's Ko-Fi members for Co-op Guild and for Canje Studios. I know all the support is much appreciated, and we love you guys. And there's nothing you can do about it. Stole your line, Derrick. I stole it.
You stole it.
He's like, yeah, that's why we don't talk about it.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time at the Guild. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.